Well, to begin with, I would say that the government and the Congress party, they have been dishonest about the whole thing right from the beginning. Now, if Mr. Anna Hazare is so bad as he was made out to be by three very senior cabinet ministers, two very senior Congress leaders, and if there was an element of truth in what they had said in the last 2 days, then where was the need for this government to have engaged Mr. Anna Hazare and his team into a huge dialogue over the various contours of this Lokpal bill? On one hand, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi writes to him, Mr. Anna Hazare, you are doing a great job. I join with you in your fight against corruption. She is willing to become a co-partner with Mr. Anna Hazare in his fight against corruption. On the other hand, you have the likes of Mr. Manish Tiwari, who use the most derogatory words, the street language, the gutter language, to describe somebody like Mr. Anna Hazare, who is a 75-year-old man who has committed his life to the country and who is known for his clean public life. So the government has been very dishonest right from the beginning. The Congress has been very dishonest, and now you have these people from the Congress party and their supporters who say that the civil society is undermining democratic institutions.
Okay, I'm coming back to you. I want to go across to Justice Santosh Hegde, who's joining this broadcast now. Justice Hegde, now we're being told that Anna Hazare will be freed. You know, his release warrant is being signed. Do you believe this is a huge victory for the people of the country, people who've been crusading against corruption, and the government has been forced to go back? It took a tyrannical, dictatorial sort of decision this morning, and now it's been forced to eat humble pie. It's been shown by people across the country that Anna Hazare's movement still has support, and it's been forced to bow down before people's power.
Well, I think if only government was a little more sensitive to what is exactly happening, then I think all these things would not have happened. They didn't have to go back on their decision. I mean, you go overnight or early morning and take a person to custody. It is not a preventive custody, because preventive custody can only be after a subjective satisfaction is shown in an order under Article 22(4) and all. No, this is not a preventive custody. This is an outright arrest of a person who is likely to commit an offence. He couldn't have waited till he went to the spot. I mean, I'm unable to understand with my little criminal law knowledge and all, how can a government do this? Now, there again is a controversy. Yesterday, one minister said it is not our decision, the decision is that of the DCP concerned, who is the concerned authority to take a decision. Today, the Home Minister says it was a very painful decision, but the decision had to be taken, meaning thereby it is a decision of the Home Ministry. That means, in the matter of custody of a citizen, in violation of his fundamental right under Article 21, you take it so very easily. Then when there is a public reaction, then you retrace the step by saying, okay,
let Sanjay Jha explain that. Let Sanjay Jha explain that. What was the big idea behind violating Anna Hazare's right to freedom of expression, and now what's the big idea behind him being released? You know, it seems the government's got its nose on the ground, has realized that it goofed up, and therefore Anna Hazare is being allowed to go. Sanjay, how do you explain this? What's the rationale? Is there any idea?